Hello. It's just coming up to 3:33 on Sunday, but I think I'm going to make a Thin Thursday video right now. The coming week I'm off to study at the New England School of Metalwork, and I don't think I'm going to be doing a lot of filming and posting. It would be good to film some of the course, but I'm so busy and kind of, stressed, not in a bad way, but there's a lot going on, and so I haven't really found the time in previous courses to make a lot of coverage. Anyway, this is the Blue Moon Linerlock from Jantz Knife Supply that comes as a kit. And I just put this together in the wee hours of this morning. It's a long story, I guess, of how I got to that point, and not very interesting. But anyway, there you go. I up and I screwed the whole thing together. It was pretty simple. This side just has this scale. On the other, you have the liner. So you put the standoffs on the liner and da-da-da-da-da. You stick it together and there you go. And possibly what we have here, incidentally, is a brand new iteration of knife detent, the slip liner. It actually has a pretty good detent, comparable to a bull detent slip joint. And so I've been wondering, should I not just keep this as is and send it to one of my colleagues in the UK so they can have a UK street-friendly non-locking liner non-lock? But also what happened was that with fiddling around with it, it does seem to come to a point where it does kind of start to lock up. It was getting there early, and now it's slipping again. So I was thinking, well, what's the adjustment then? Do I adjust the bar? Do I adjust the tang? Or the stop pin scenario? And this kind of tells a story there, right? And also, to the best of my recollection, usually when there's a stop pin, there would be a kind of a curve cut into the tang there where it hits the stop. And maybe they just left that part out or something. But you can see the mark from where the stop pin's been hitting. So I think the thing to do would be to go in with a round file and just go in there ever so slightly. Although that will then push the blade up a little bit, just a hair. And I quite like the angle at which it is now. So I'm not entirely decided, but this came with a really nice mirror polish. This did not come like this. Very nice mirror polish, and the crowning on the spine is. Okay, so now it's engaged. The crowning on the spine is divine. It looks like a rock stud or something. Yeah, really nice mirror polish, but the grinds were not so even, and the edge was terrible. And you kind of dug in here and left this a bit of a mess there. But I will say that it only took a couple of touches on a stone to get the edge feeling pretty good. And I realized, well, maybe that actually favors you, that instead of taking all the time to put on a proper factory edge, which unless all the belts are brand new and it's all done perfectly well, basically is you're stressing all your edge steel with all that belt work. So yeah, why not just go put on a very rough, jaggedy apex, and then the user can tidy that up. And so now this is kind of effectively over sharpened, and so I've just been cutting boxes just to you know, as a way of working the edge gently so that I can start to thicken it up a little bit. And you know, so I'm missing quite a lot of blade already, but that's what it takes, you know. If I want the blade to align to the handle as best as possible, which you can see is still pretty off, but I went in a lot harder on this side to start out to correct that. Yeah, if I want that and I want the good performance and everything, that's necessary. But later I can get the mirror polish back, and actually the mirror polish was scratched. Not these big scratches there, but those little ones you see down here. Yeah, this came out of the packet like that. So it's like a really nice mirror polish with some big old scratches on it that totally ruined it. But it tells you, you know, what you can get, or you could just keep it like that, or buff out the scratches that were in it. Value wise, you know, this really to me raises the matter of the subjectivity of knife values. I think this may have cost me $60 or $80 or something, and it's all steel. It's a VG10 Sanmai blade. If we look in there, you can see in that little divot where the transition is to the VG10 core. So yeah, you could get a better spec knife already built with no issues with the lock for less money. But I think this is a beautiful knife and a fun experience and a learning experience for me. Not far off functionality, and I will also say that there is no side-to-side play on this. It is as solid as you could possibly hope for such a slim knife, side-to-side. Came with a tip-down pocket clip. I didn't really like it, but you can imagine, fairly conventional pressed steel pocket clip. And I just think this is beautiful. This, I don't know what it is actually. I mean, I would almost think maybe DLC, out of my ignorance, I guess. I don't think it's DLC. Is it anodizing or just some kind of lacquer? But it seems fairly resilient. And it looks great. And of course, there you have the possibility of putting a scale on here. Comes with the screws for that, and I believe there were, in principle, scales made available that you could just buy and bolt it straight on. I don't recall that being an option at Jantz, but yeah, that was there in the instructions. But I'm also thinking, you know, maybe just use this as a template. Although it's so beautiful, but you could use it as a template to make a whole new scale out of whatever you like, right? You could use these as the liners and then put scales on top, or you could, you know, just delete this one here, or rather, you could delete both of the scales effectively. Just keep the liner, you know, make yourself new scales. Yeah, I like it. Okay, thanks for watching. Bye.